Everybody. Here we are, week 4, getting ready for our resistance training exercise program. I just wanted to touch base and sort of get some clarity going on things that are happening. So the first and foremost thing is that you can see I'm here in mastering. I wanted to just take some time to show you that in mastering there are labs. Each one of the labs have here for practice. They are not assigned to any points. Lots of people are answering questions or typing in the boxes in the labs for points. And unfortunately, there's not any point value to that. So I'd like for you to save your time and not do those things. The rest of these questions and the different things that are happening here have points. Some are bonus points and some are not. So when you finish those, you can just take that on and do whatever. The thing that is really important that I want you to take a look at is the lab. So the lab for 4.1 included some fitness assessments and some other things. Please go back and check to make sure that you've completed your mathematical equations correctly. There were, I think, only a few people who did, so there were some errors, and I just want to make sure that everybody is using the correct numbers before setting off and beginning some assessment activities or beginning some resistance training programs based off of that. What I've included here is Lab 4.4. This is the actual resistance training program that you were supposed to design. The first thing that you needed to do was talk about how much time per week do you have free to actually include or do exercise. And so for some of you, you've chosen a 4-day a week workout. I have 2 people who've chosen a 6-day a week workout. And if that's the case, that's absolutely fine. But you have to understand that you have to have a split routine. What a split routine means is that you cannot work the same muscle groups 2 days in a row. So the typical muscle group workout would be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. The deal is that they need to have a rest day in between so that they can repair, get stronger, bigger, and repair generally from the workout. The next thing is that here you want to talk about how experienced are you? Are you a novice? You have not been exercising resistance training wise for a year. Or are you intermediate or advanced, 3+ years, you've been doing this for a long time? You'll have to select either muscular strength or muscular endurance as your focus. It's difficult to work on both of these at the same time. So once you're doing all of that, you're going to do a well-rounded program, which I had said in the video prior to this for the assessment. You'll do a well-rounded program, and if you have a muscle group that you would like to focus on, then include that in there, and you can add exercises for that, but you would not want to omit general exercises. So the next thing is, do I want to use weight machines, free weights, or no equipment? There is a great way to get in shape doing solely body weight exercises. If you don't belong to a gym, you don't have time to come to school to use our gym, then you can certainly get a good workout at home doing certain body weight exercises. So don't think that you need to join a gym or do fancy fitness programs for that. The next thing is, are you having a partner and what's going on with that? And that's all up to you. Some people like a partner, some people don't. Down here are some of the things, though, that we need to talk about. So the lower body, it would be the exercises that you do first. We always follow a basic routine of large muscle groups to small muscle groups. We do multi-joint exercises before individual or single joint exercises. And we actually would follow the basic routine of sets and repetitions based off of the goal above, whether it's strength or whether it's endurance, forgive me. So you would do something like a squat, a leg press, a lunge, then you would do a leg curl, then you would do a leg calf raises, add an abductors. You want to make sure that you mix and match them. When you're choosing an intensity, the sets, the repetitions, and the rest time, that's really important based off of, again, your goals, which I'm going to show you in the textbook in 1 second. The upper body should include simple exercises, including your latissimus dorsi, so the large pulling back muscles. You then want to work your chest muscles, then your rhomboid muscles, and then your shoulders, your biceps, your triceps, and forearms if you need grip strength. And then last but not least, you would use your core or your trunk. I have lots of people who have listed exercises by a different name. There's a million different names for each exercise, and some of the things I'm trying to be sort of safety cautious on. So, for example, if you're doing back extensions, they should not be a hyperextension. Your lumbar region shouldn't hyperextend. So if you're lying on the ground and you're going to do Supermans, you should come up to just a straight core. So some of those types of things. Your textbook and on Mastering has some excellent video demonstrations that are good and solid. So that's what you would finish with is your core. The thing that you need to remember for this week is that you must do a warm up and a cool down. Even if you're doing resistance exercises, you should do a warm up. And that should not be just go sit on that machine or do one set at a light weight and then the second set at a heavier weight and the third set at a heavier weight. You want to do that same functional dynamic warm up before you get started. Okay, now let's take a look at how you determine your sets, reps, and rest. Okay, so this is your textbook. It's on page 126. Again, if you don't have a hard textbook and you're using the Mastering book, 126 is the page number. This is the guidelines for designing your own resistance training program. So there's pretty much 3 categories for a goal. The first one is muscular fitness, just general individual muscle fitness. The next one is to increase muscular endurance. And the third one is to increase muscular strength. The thing that you need to understand is that you want to increase muscular fitness or endurance, you can be any level. If you want to start to increase muscular strength, you've got to be an intermediate. That means that you need to have lifted weights for about 1 year and you're pretty confident in what you're doing because we have to have excellent form as we increase resistance or load. So then the next thing is we talk about that intensity of your 1 RM. Again, some people did that math incorrectly, and I've made notations in all of your labs and as I graded them. So if you did the intensity incorrectly, the 1 rep max figure incorrectly, it'll be very difficult for you to figure out the proper resistance or percent load. So again, we want to take this into consideration. We're going to look at sets and repetitions. So you might see here that we have 1 to 3 sets with a 2 to 3 minute rest in between, and you would do this 2 to 3 times per week as the example. The thing that's really important to understand is that the total number of repetitions after all sets have been completed should not exceed 30 repetitions. And so by that, we mean that if I do 3 sets of 10, that would be good. But I would not do 3 sets of 12. I would do 2 sets of 12 and be at 24. The goal is volitional fatigue. And so that means that I want my muscles shaking and I want to focus on that very last repetition. And it has to sort of be uncomfortable in order for it to count. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. Okay, when you're looking at that rest in between, our goal is to allow the muscles a little bit of downtime, but not full recovery. If they recover completely in between sets, then our challenge will be, how do we ever fatigue them? If you don't fatigue them, they don't get stronger. So these should be the goals that you're looking at. Well, many of you made a good effort in designing your program, but I've made many corrections. And so please take some time, go look at those corrections before you begin this coming week's exercise program. All right, good luck to everybody, and send me an email if you have any questions, comments, or if I asked you to do some clarification. Take care. Bye-bye.